Okay, B. Slade, as promised in the last 15 minutes, I told you we would once again have some rock royalty in the studio with us here at the Muay Thai Metal Show on 97underground.com. He's been in White Snake. He's played with Cher. He's been with Night Ranger. I mean, this guy has just about done it all. I'm talking about Joel Hoekstra. Joel, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for taking the time out tonight.
Not a problem. So you've got a tour about to kick off. It's an acoustic duo tour. It's you and Brandon Gibbs from the Devil City Angels, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it looks like show starts actually with the 97 Underground show here in Annapolis, Maryland, September 22nd. Tell us all about it, man. How'd it come together? What can we expect to hear? I'll let you talk from here, man. Go.
Yeah, Brandon and I met, probably about back in 2015, 2016 on the Monsters of Rock cruise, which is a killer rock cruise that I do annually. And then, we were listening, we actually shared a meet and greet together. Sometimes they pair up artists on a meet and greet. And so that's what happened. And they were playing both of our songs. He said, "Hey, I like your songs." I said, "I like your songs too." He said, "Hey, man, well, I do these acoustic shows sometimes with other guitarists. Would you ever be into that?" And I said, "Absolutely, man. Give me a holler." And so, really, we started doing some of these when our schedules had breaks over the years, and obviously got a little window of time right now that was unexpected. So we hooked up this run of 7 straight shows that we're going to head out on. So people can expect a little bit of Whitesnake and a little bit of Poison because of Brandon's association with those guys over the years, and some Devil City Angels, some Brandon Gibbs solo stuff, some Joel Hoekstra's 13 stuff, some of our favorite covers, and kind of like a casual environment. And what's cool about this is it gives me an opportunity to tour the U.S. outside of the arena vibe, where I can actually get done with one of these and be able to say hello to everybody, give them some guitar picks and things of that nature, and just kind of have a fun night.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking here. I always try to do my homework when we have a guest like yourself on the show. And again, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. We appreciate you being on the show. With us being an internet radio station, Joel, we are worldwide. So I'm going to throw out some dates here, just for the fans, because you never know where we have listeners. Again, Annapolis on the 22nd of September. All these dates in September. Vineland, New Jersey on the 23rd at the Landis Theater. On the 24th, Pauling, New York at a place called Daryl's House. New Hope, PA on the 25th at the New Hope Winery. Broadbrook, Connecticut on the 28th. And Derry, New Hampshire on the 29th. For whatever reason, Joel, that's the only dates I could seem to find online. Is this going to go into October? Is that it? Can you expound on that a little bit?
You're only missing one on the September 27th. We're in Long Island, Patchogue, New York, specifically at a place called 89 North. So
okay,
yeah, that's it, man. You got it. September 22nd, Annapolis, Maryland. September 23rd, Vineland, New Jersey, at the Landis. September 24th, Pauling, New York, at Daryl's House. September 25th, New Hope, Pennsylvania, at New Hope Winery. September 27th, Patchogue, New York, 89 North. September 28th, Broadbrook, Connecticut, at the Broadbrook Opera House. And September 29th, Derry, New Hampshire, at Tupelo Music Hall. So yeah, get a fun run in there. It gives us an opportunity to get out and do a little bit of U.S. work and have some fun, man. Brandon's a great cat. We basically just head out, the two of us, man, and have a ball doing this. So
that's really cool. Great stuff. Well, how do you have the time to do this? I mean, obviously you have the Joel Hoekstra 13. So give our listeners a little bit of an idea of how you're doing this juggling act, because you have some stuff going on with the 13 right now at this time, don't you?
Yeah, I'm working on the 3rd album. So I released Dying to Live, I guess it's a while ago now, 2015, from Joel Hoekstra's 13, which I consider to be my rock side project, right? My project.
I gotcha.
Running Games came out in 2021, and now we got coming up quickly here the 3rd one, which I haven't given out the title to anybody yet. But Vinny, it's same lineup: Vinny Appice on drums, Tony Franklin on bass, Derek Sherinian on keys, myself on guitars. So we got some killer vocals being laid down as we speak, and my friend Jeff Scott Soto usually helps out and does the backing vocals on there for me. So the music's already kind of being mixed, and kind of waiting on the vocals to be flown in, and so we're getting there. It takes a few months to turn it around once you turn in the product to the label and everything like that. So I think people could probably look at like an early 23 release on it.
Okay, that was my next question. It sounds to me like you're keeping the title pretty close to the vest, and we totally respect that. But my next question was going to be, when can we expect to hear this album, man? A lot of Joel Hoekstra fans, probably waiting on this thing. So there's your answer. Or it sounds like early 2023.
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. That stuff, it always takes longer than you want it to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, hey, man, let's get this thing out next week. And it's like, that's just not going to happen realistically. Just all the other stuff is what slows it up, Well,
I tell you what, now you've got me in the mood to hear some of this stuff. Why don't we do something from the Joel Hoekstra 13? What's the first song you think we ought to do, Joel? I'll leave it up to you.
Well, why don't we go back to the debut album, Dying to Live? Let's go to the opening track, Say Goodbye to the Sun. How about that?
It sounds good to me. It's Joel Hoekstra from the Joel Hoekstra 13, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and right now on the Campfire Tour with Devil City Angels, Brandon Gibbs. But this one is from the Joel Hoekstra 13. Say Goodbye to the Sun at 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock. We're wide.
Think is real. I can take away your thoughts and filter what you feel. Say goodbye to the sun. A new reality's begun. Say goodbye to the sun. Surrender all to me, you're done. Let go, give in. Fly the way you've never been. You got nowhere to run. So say goodbye to the sun.
97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. The station your mother warned you about. The song is called Say Goodbye to the Sun. That is the Joel Hoekstra 13. Why are you hearing that right now on the Muay Thai Metal Show? Well, if you're just joining us, we happen to be sitting down with Joel Hoekstra right now as I speak. Joel, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much, guys.
Not a problem at all. Thank you for being here. So in segment 1, talking to Joel, we talked a little bit about the new tour. It's actually the Campfire Tour. It's a duet with Devil City Angels, Brandon Gibbs. They'll be hitting the road over here in the next couple of days, starting on September 22nd in Annapolis, Maryland, at Rams Head on Stage. That happens to be a 97underground.com show. Joel, let's talk a little bit about some of the other projects that you're involved in. You have been involved with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra for some time now. What's the game plan for this year?
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I've been amazingly enough touring with them since 2010. It's amazing how time flies.
No kidding.
Just felt like the new guy not all that long ago. We're going to be headed out on what's called the Ghost of Christmas Eve tour, which is kind of like a greatest hits kind of tour. For those that haven't seen it, it's a great opportunity to come out because you're going to hear all the kind of, most familiar songs, and the production is always bigger and better every year. There's always, those that haven't seen TSO, the front half has always got a little bit of a story, and then the second half is basically a free-for-all with the production and just kind of more like your standard rock concert. But of course, the production is more gigantic than anything you'll ever see. So,
right.
I mean, it's, if you haven't seen it, it's one of those things you just got to go see to wrap your head around it, because it's a bizarre combination of a lot of cool things. It's kind of like taking the rock opera elements of, like, Tommy from The Who, and mashing it up with like a Pink Floyd laser light show, with, like, pyrotechnics of a Kiss concert, and, the moving hydraulics and all that stuff, where we're up on lifts and all that kind of stuff. And of course, throw in some classical music, and, because we're playing citations from, the composers over the years. And, so it's a real interesting mix of stuff. But, it's kind of the mad genius of Paul O'Neill, coming up with this whole thing. And, on paper, I think people probably would have thought, well, that's not going to work. What are you even talking about?
Right.
And, we're like filling arenas twice a day, and all these years later, and so many people have made us their holiday tradition to come out to the show. It's it's become a staple in so many people's lives. It's really cool to be a part of, and it's amazing, especially as a rock musician, to watch so many bands kind of sliding into decline right now as the years go by, and TSO just keeps getting stronger and stronger, man. I mean, drawing more and more people. It's one of the top tours every year in Billboard and Polestar, and it's just amazing to be a part of it.
Go ahead, B Slade. B Slade wants to jump in here, Joe.
Well, Ron's just looking at me, Joe. I'm holding a Jeff Plate Trans-Siberian Orchestra drumstick in my hand right now.
Man, you better put that down, man. You know what they call people who hang out with musicians, don't you? Drummers.
Yeah.
Well, we know you're in great company. You have a tremendous track record with those guys. There's some other great musicians involved in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of talent in the group is off the charts. It's ridiculous. So, that being said, the thing with TSO is that, it's about the name on the front of the jersey as opposed to the name on the back of the jersey, as the sports cliche goes, right? It's all about TSO. So, you do that tour, and it's very much about, like, the show. It's very much about TSO. We set it all aside. There's no, like, hey, when's my moment,
Right.
Everybody's got their moment, to shine in that show. But we all just kind of do our thing and try and represent the brand of Trans-Siberian Orchestra as best we can. And the main thing is focusing on the show. And I think people would be shocked to see how much of that the production is really the star of, I mean, the production is really off the charts. The amount of resources that Paul O'Neill put into that, man, I mean,
I know.
We're traveling around with 19 semi-trucks aside, just filled with, like, the stage setup, and I mean, it's ridiculous.
That's incredible. Well, I tell you what, Joe, great stuff about the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and obviously that'll be coming up. I'm sure you'll kick off that tour. Is it kicking off in December? Do you know yet?
November 16.
Oh, no kidding.
November
Okay.
16, I want to say, yeah.
Mid-November. That's great. Well, let's circle back to the Joel Hoekstra 13. Can you tell us a little bit about the song Hard to Say Goodbye? What was that all about?
Yeah, that's, I got a lot of these songs that people like to, find their own meaning in. So the lyrics are kind of vague, but it kind of comes off as obviously like it's hard to leave a relationship. But for me, it was more about like, hard to letting go of like of bad memories in the past. That's more what the lyrics are about, but there you go. I like to leave a little bit of room for interpretation when I write lyrics, so it's not
That's
so
cool.
specific, that people can kind of find their own meanings in these songs. But yeah, it's just kind of like this chorus came to me when I was walking around Tokyo, oddly enough. I was
Wow.
touring with Whitesnake, and I was walking around Tokyo, and I had this song in my head, and I thought, yeah, that's a good chorus, So I wrote it without my guitar in my hands at all, just kind of walking around. And I had the
Wow.
chorus, and I kind of went back to the room and filled in what the guitars would be, and so that's kind of how this song came about.
That's very cool. I tell you what do you say we roll it right now?
Cool.
Sitting down with lead guitarist Joel Hoekstra of the Joel Hoekstra 13 and a host of other bands. This one's Hard to Say Goodbye at 97underground.com. Baltimore's Pure Rock. We're wild.
Every day in a way I can still feel pain. What you did to my heart, and it stays, never fades in an endless way. But
Worldwide, the band, the Joel Hoekstra 13. The song, Hard to Say Goodbye. Joel is in the studio with us right now. And during that song, we were talking about some other projects that Joel's involved in. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it back to him again. Joel, what else do you have going on? You are a busy, busy guy.
Yeah, thanks. Well, taking this opportunity, just fill some things in here until I head off with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra tour that we were speaking about. So I will be, for those that are in the Vegas area or feel like taking a trip, I'll be a part of Raiding the Rock Vault out there October 15 through 26. That's a cool show that kind of revisits, the classic rock era and the growth of it, and it's a real fun show. So everybody come on out, and that's at the Rio out there, October 15 through 26. I'll be out there, so I think 10 shows total. Come on out and say hello. And I want to talk a bit about that project Iconic too that just came out really just a couple months ago. But that's something that vocalist Nathan James from Inglorious is kind of the front and center star of, the lead singer. And then what they wanted to do at Frontiers was surround him with a group of classic rock musicians that could complement his vocal styling. So what they did is they threw myself and Michael Sweet from Stryper on guitars, and Michael splits some lead vocals here and there with Nathan, which is pretty badass, and
That's
also
fantastic.
harmonizes with him. And Michael's quite the guitarist, and so we do a little bit of trading here and there. And we play some double leads, kind of get that Maiden vibe going on at times, Scorpions kind of thing,
Wow.
And then, so much to my surprise, they had said, hey, well, don't worry, we'll start with that, and then we'll figure out a drummer and bass player down the road. And said, okay, well, probably be some guys who I've never heard of or something. Well, ended up being my Whitesnake bandmate Tommy Aldridge on drums, and Marco Mendoza on bass. So a couple good friends of mine, amazing musicians, and so we got quite a potent lineup there, and the album is really cool. If you haven't checked it out, it's called Second Skin, out on Frontiers Music, SRL, and
Nice.
check it out online, and everybody can look forward to more Iconic coming, I think, beyond this album. And in addition to the Joel Hoekstra's 13 stuff that will be coming out. So I'm working hard for you guys.
I appreciate that, Joel. Again, if you're just sitting down with us, we are sitting in with Joel Hoekstra from the Joel Hoekstra 13, as well as a host of other bands, as you just heard. Joel, we were actually able to dial up a couple of the Iconic songs. Would you want to do, I know we talked about maybe doing Finish Line from 13. Would you want to do Nowhere to Run from Iconic as kind of our your going away present for the Muay Thai Metal listeners? Entirely up to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's give everybody a little taste of Iconic too.
All right, sounds real good. Well, before we jump into that, come on, one more shameless plug for the 97 Underground staff here. We are doing a show with Joel on September 22nd in Annapolis, Maryland at Rams Head on Stage. This happens to be the Campfire Tour with Joel Hoekstra and the Devil City Angels, Brandon Gibbs. Again, mark it on your calendar, September 22nd, 97 Underground show at Rams Head on Stage, Annapolis, Maryland. Jumping back to Iconic, Joel, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Any parting words, and we'll jump into Iconic?
No, just thank you so much, everybody, for your support. I hope you guys dig the tunes, and hope to see y'all at a show soon.
It's Joel Hoekstra, this time with Iconic. Song is called Nowhere to Run at 97underground.com. Baltimore, you're rock. We're wide.